WAYNE SUCKS.
Talk and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk with Neil, call 751-WIOD in Dade, 524-WIOD in Broward. Outside the 305 area code, it's toll-free, 1-800-944-WIOD. And Cellular One customers can call pound IOD at no charge.
George just killed my diet.
The Neil Rogers Show on News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio,
Diet killer.
610 WIOD.
Oh, Neil, my queen, God.
But wait a second.
He lives on Queer Street, lingers round on Queer Street. He has a house and garden. I would love to see what happens. Paints his toes and pets his monkey. Women's clothes make him look real funky.
Just lick him.
He has a whiz and knows what to do. He wants me and he wants you. He lives on Queer Street, near a store where all the creatures meet. I wonder what they're doing in there. He says he likes it just fine. I'll bet he is. If you knew Judy like I know Judy. La 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 la. He lives on Queer Street, lingers around on Queer Street. He has a house and a...
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something right now, and you
Okay.
can mark it down.
Mark it down.
If Broward County would change their mind and decide they wanted to build this facility,
Yeah.
I will not play here.
Liar.
Because I will not have
Liar,
you guys
liar. Bald spot
looking
on
at me
fire.
for the next 10 years saying, here's a guy that said one thing and went out and did something
Yeah,
else.
here's somebody who said, talked out of both sides of his ass. How do you like that? So anyway, somebody sends me a copy, thank you so much, in a big manila envelope, no less, of the article, which we did talk about. He's got a little tab on here saying, I didn't ever hear you talk about. We did. It was back in December. New Times, and it was a cover thing, Citizen Wayne, the unauthorized biography by Steve Almond. And speaking of almonds, George just brought me, thanks so much, I think, to this guy who sent all those nuts over here. I can't eat all those nuts. I just ate about 80 grams worth of carbohydrates, screwed up my diet for probably the whole weekend, just when I was starting to really do it again. My blood sugar was 54 this morning. I was feeling great. I bet you it's like 354. Thanks, George. Why didn't you just take him home?
I have to live with myself.
Boy, could I say a lot there. Ralph Rotten's Nut Pound in Miami Lakes. Main Street, Miami Lakes. Great nuts. Ralph's got the best nuts in town. That's what Brainstem says. He knows his stuff in Miami Lakes. So my diet's screwed for the day. Thanks a lot. And we have steak coming from the Embers today, which Hank owns a piece of that. I said, I don't mind that, because they have really good steak, I understand, but just as long as he doesn't touch it first, or the steak. So anyway, this article, some of the things that are highlighted in here, which are really bear repeating, it says, it goes through his whole background, and at age 22, Harry Wayne Huizenga was what can be characterized at a crisis point in his young career. His classmates from nearby Pinecrest High were earning their diplomas from elite colleges, slipping into comfortable jobs. Huizenga had done little but wander in the 5 years since graduating high school, drifting from low-wage jobs to a brief stab at college to a hitch in the Army Reserve, a brief stab. He came back to Fort Lauderdale in 1960 with a newlywed wife. Seething with ambition but without much in the way of prospects, he took a job selling trash hauling services door to door. Thomas Millwood, however, was not swayed by the sales pitch, a rejection that evidently caused something in young Huizenga to snap. According to a civil suit Millwood filed in November of 1961, Huizenga refused to vacate the premises. After using abusive and profane language to both Millwood and his wife, the defendant Huizenga attacked Millwood in a fit of anger and without provocation, striking him on his face and body using great force and violence, therefore inflicting great bodily harm and mental shock. The altercation left Millwood with a ripped shirt, broken sunglasses, abrasions on his puss. Most painful, noted the lawsuit, was the permanent injury to the testicles and genital area as a result of grabbing and twisting by the defendant. Oh! He's got us all by the nuts. How do you like that? That's the best. Let me say it again. Most painful, noted the lawsuit, was the permanent injury to the testicles and genital area as a result of grabbing and twisting by the defendant.
Just lick him.
The matter went to trial where Huizenga claimed Millwood had initiated or instigated the violence. The jury believed Millwood awarded him $1,000 in damages. This brand of prudent ruthlessness has in many ways propelled his stupefying rise from lowly garbage toter to the master of all he surveys, Master Bader. So anyway, last night, I was mentioning this with Rick this morning, and I don't know why I use all the grade A material on his show. But very seriously, last night we went so far over the line. Wayne doesn't even have to feel bad about screwing up the dump there, so we let the F word going on air. That is nothing compared to the indecent broadcast we had on Sports Talk between 6:30 and 6:50 last night. Even Todd Tungan from Channel 10 has never tongued anybody like what we had. I'm going to talk about it at great length. I might just rip Defo for the next 3.5 hours. I have never heard such a spineless, jellyfish, ass-licking display in my life. Come on in on this show, Wayne, okay? Let's see what nice treatment you get here, okay? Let's see how much I licky. Of course, it all depends on how much is in the bag, how much is in the little briefcase. 12 minutes after 10 at WIOD.
WIOD. Who's responsible for this? The sisters, the devil, or the FCC?
They don't come any better than Neil Rogers or any fatter than Hank Goldberg. Oh!
Okay, it's 10:16 at WIOD, and they don't suck any harder than Jeff DeForest, man. I've always liked Defo. I've always thought he was a pretty good guy. When they wanted to fire his ass, I went to bat for him. I cried. I carried on. I begged. I pleaded. I said the guy's, Jewish. Even with a phony name like that, he never stole a freight train. He drinks a little bit too much, but other than that, he's a good guy. And he is a good guy. He's just an ass sucker, that's all. And man, oh man, I get in the car last night. It's about 6:33. And maybe 6:35, so I may have missed the first minute or two, and I can't believe my ears. In addition to which, the technical quality of it sounded like they were both talking through a strainer, and it turns out he was out at Dolphin camp. And you know how great we always do these remotes.
Well, Wayne, let me ask you, where would you like me to start licking first?
I have never heard, seriously, such a tongue job for 20 minutes in my life. Even you put Larry King, Hank Goldberg, and all the other great tongue lickers of America put together, couldn't have come close to this. And then I get back in the car about 5 after 7. He comes back on after the news, and then now that Wayne is long gone, he's saying, well, is there anybody out there who believed all that crap he was saying? Does the term spineless jellyfish conjure up any images in your mind? Here is the golden opportunity. We had the perfect chance. The man actually got sucked into coming on this radio station, which he hates like poison, except he does like Defo. Now I understand why. He must have called him Jeff by name like 800 times in the 15 or 20 minutes I heard. And just to sit there and let this man go on about the Sun Sentinel, and you know that it isn't true, and just because they put it in the paper, I would never say anything to hurt my friends in Broward, and if they want to come up with the money and yada yada. And then in the paper this morning, he's quoted as saying, oh, anybody, Mickey and I talked, and we're willing to put a deal, Miami, Broward, we don't care. Anybody who's stupid enough to put up the money, we'll do it.
And I'm going to tell you something right now, and you can mark it down.
Right.
If Broward County would change their mind
but he
and
never
decide
said
they want
this.
to build this facility,
He never said this.
I will not play.
But you never said it.
Because I will not have you guys looking at me for the next 10 years saying, here's a guy that said one thing and went out and did something else.
It was the Sun Sentinel, and he never said it. Now, we played it on the air about 600 times yesterday and about 400 times already more today. And Defo, I am so dismayed. there are no words to describe my disgust and disappointment, okay? What we're going to do, save some of those nuts, George, because I think besides Rick Riley, we found somebody else who could use some. What would you like, Annette? You want to go potchkey around with my log? Yep. Since when do you potchkey around with a log? Oh, now she's graduated already. She went from accounting to continuity to traffic, and pretty soon she'll be taking the garbage out. And she's got a smile on her puss. See, they don't even understand when they're being demoted, when they're being squeezed out the door.
Now you know who makes real money.
Who's that?
Roberto.
Yeah, Dumberto makes the big bucks. That's right. He gets to steal everything out of the dumpster that he can. Okay, where are we going? To Pompano on the Purple Line. What just happened there? What was that? Pompano on the purple line. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. I wish you could come in here and see our space-age equipment. It's fantastic.
It sounds
just
great
as I
out
went
here.
to punch you up, all the lines started rainbowing.
I felt it. It was great. After Defo licked Wayne's ass.
Did you hear it?
I didn't hear it, but I got in the car late last night. I was listening to the Marlins game.
Can I tell you something? If you would have heard it last night, you'd be in intensive care right now.
But
it was the most debilitating experience of my life.
Well, there's more to it. After the Marlins game last night, he got his ass licked by two tongues on QAM.
Oh, my God.
The boys were licking.
Maybe he's in intensive care right now, recovering from all the burns.
It was unbelievable.
The tongue burns.
I'm telling you, it was like I was listening, and I just couldn't believe what was coming out of the radio. It was like, I can't listen to
It was coming out of the radio?
Squirt, squirt.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. The two of them on QAM, I don't know, the guy from Buffalo or whatever, those two morons, they were kissing him up and
Wait
down.
a second. Why did you do that? But here's the copy right here. You're going to change it? Okay. Okay, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry. We have another little copy problem here. I know that's very unusual at WIOD, but go ahead.
So they were kissing him up and down, and Wayne gets on there and he says, well, that's, the thing you just played?
Mm-hmm.
He says, that's not what I said. He said they took it out of context, and then he said, what I said was, and he said the whole thing again, and then he had some little thing afterwards that he said, and I wouldn't hurt my friends in Broward. And he says, but...
I'm going to tell you something right now, and you can mark it down.
Mark it down.
If Broward County would change their mind and decide they wanted to build this facility, I will not play here.
Okay. Is there anything open to interpretation there, you bald-headed, zit-faced geek?
What he said after that, he said, well, and then what I see, he said, I said that, but after that I said, if there's no other deal, blah, 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 but like you said, I'm really inclined to believe exactly what you said, that he's doing a deal with Nashville or something, because he said, well, if nobody comes up with a present deal, then I'm going to go ahead and move on and see what other offers are out there. But
he's just playing the backyard bully, that's all. He's just trying to... he did this a couple of months ago. I'm going to give you 3 months, and if you guys don't come up with a deal to build me an arena, that's it. I'm pulling it out, okay?
He said
now he's sticking it back in and threatening to pull it out again.
Well, he said that he's instructed his staff not to talk to anybody. Not to talk to Nashville, not to talk to this...
Well, he's talking to Mickey Arison, though.
Oh, well, no, he said he wasn't talking. He didn't even know who the guy was last night on QAM. I guess.
Well, how come he talked to him for a half hour yesterday, according to the article today, and they're all smiles and everything? The Arisons who own the cruise... You do know that. They own the cruise line thing?
Right. Oh, yeah.
They're worth billions of dollars. They make Wayne look like a piker, okay? They're worth billions. The two of them put together, they could, like with pocket change, build a beautiful arena, and if it's such a great prospect that he wants the taxpayers to fund it, why should we take away from them, from these two great entrepreneurs, greedy business guys, the chance to own the whole thing themselves? All the skyboxes, all the advertising, all the concessions. They can have their own great thing, and Wayne doesn't have to spend a dime for the land. He's got all that land right by the stadium. He could build the most beautiful arena anywhere in the world.
I'd love to go there. I tell you, I hate going down to the arena. It's just a
what a sock sucker he is, man. I'll tell you that right now.
Furthermore, he started talking about this losing $1 million a month deal.
Yeah.
And he said, well, look.
He's losing $10 million. He was crying on Defoe's shoulder. I'm losing $10 million this year on the Marlins.
Wow.
Even the Mets are better.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. He was squirting them all over the place.
So he's getting on there,
and tears, too.
He says, even if they build me an arena, by the time that they've built it, I'll have lost $114 million. And like you said, what did you say? He makes $80 million a year?
No, I said at 10% he would make $80 million. Nobody who's worth $1 billion has their money invested at 10%. He's probably making 20%. So figure $160 million a year. Plus, like I also said, guys like that generally are looking for a tax write-off. They got to be losing on something because he's making money up the ass on everything else he touches.
I mean,
how about losing on just for once to make us feel better? Lose a few bucks.
Oh, well, his friends in Broward. He's been here 28 years. He's everybody's buddy.
That was the only good line Defoe had at the very end of the interview. He said, well, maybe you will stay in the arena. What's a few million among friends? And Wayne, oh, thanks, Jeff. What a funny guy. Don't say it again.
He's everybody's friend. You heard him. I heard him last night. He's my buddy.
Yeah.
I asked him if he'd lend me $1 million a month. He said no.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, he wants to be real close to you. He wants you to open wide and have a good time.
Yep, got to say two things.
Real close,
okay.
real quick. I mean, real fast, real soon.
You can't spell Moishe Pupik without UM.
Yeah.
And Larry at Acura, you're a douchebag.
Okay.
Thank you.
You can't spell compulsive liar without UM. It's 10:23 at WIOD.
At night, when the lights are dimmed, there's passion on 610 WIOD.
I'm a real big believer the secret to oral sex performing on a woman is not licking. It is light sucking.
Just lick 'em.
This tongue does not suck. So I just am not going to invest. And not only that, to get one of these tongues, man, what is it, $50 maybe?
Enough for the sucking.
These tongues are expensive. I want a tongue. I'll grab mine, old man.
Enough for the
Passion
sucking.
Phones with Aaron Summers. Weeknights, 8 till midnight.
Just lick
on
'em.
News Talk and Entertainment Radio. 610 WIOD. 610 WIOD. If you like to be humiliated in public, call us right now.
Don Shula, I f***ed him.
Oh!
Just lick 'em.
Put it in Zaire and it made me ill. Now there ain't no cure and there ain't no pill for Ebola.
Yeah, man.
Ebola. The doctor says I'm sick and I won't last long, but at least I'll survive till the end of the song. It's
Yeah, man.
Okay, 1028 at WIOD. Happy Thursday to you. You know, at the risk of getting started on this diet thing again, although I do find out, did you know Telsey was on this Atkins diet now? We got a whole bunch of people, closet people inside the building. People who even listen to the show in the closet who pretend that they don't. But they're on this Atkins diet now. And the one thing that you learn as you go along, and you learn the hard way like I did this morning. I don't want to blame George, but I will anyway. Sorry. Yeah, you ought to be. Piece of walking dreck. All the stuff. Look at that stuff I gave you yesterday to take home. That big, beautiful basket that Jew bastard sent over by here. My God, there was about a week's worth of food for you and your marginal family. How do you like that? God almighty. And he foists on me this morning nuts.
I didn't know you were going to go nuts.
If I want nuts in the morning, believe me, it ain't going to be those. Or yours. But anyway, the bottom line is the lessons that you learn as you go along. I mean, I am telling you, that gave me religion right there. Some of us, and this is the message in the whole book, some people are not only have a carbohydrate intolerance, but some of us have a, wicked carbohydrate intolerance. I'm cutting them out, man, for the next several days. I'm going to have to start all over now. Not that I'm going to gain any weight back from a few nuts, but it's just that my blood sugar has gone way up. I went from feeling so goddamn great, that usual euphoria when your blood sugar is real low when you're diabetic and you got it nice and low, like 54 by the time I got to work, I took it one more time. It was 66 when I left the house. 66! 60 goddamn 6! It was the Antichrist blood sugar. Now I would say the other 6 is in there. It's probably 666. Thanks. Oh, my God. So you learn your lesson, baby, the hard way. That's, when you diddle around with your own body, so to speak, and you find little things like this that, oh, my God, I just can't handle that. And he talks about that in the book, too. You find the foods that you're allergic to, like that NutraSweet. You find out your immediate reaction to oh, man, I'm telling you, I don't know how I'm going to continue. And I especially don't know how I'm going to eat that great steak that's coming for lunch. You knew we had lunch coming. Why didn't you just, sit on those nuts or something like that? Good way to get a hernia, but why didn't, something.
I thought they were allowed. What do I know about nuts?
A handful. But once I start eating and you put a whole bit, and they were good. Thanks a lot, Ralph, whatever the hell your name is, you faker. No, he's a good guy. He's got good nuts. But there were cashews and there were macadamias. And those, I love them. Didn't see me eat the almonds, did you? I go for the good stuff, the cashews and the macadamia nuts. And, man, I got such a heartburn right now, it could kill me. Oh, man alive. Carbohydrates and again, not everybody. If you're doing great and you can eat all that stuff, I'm jealous. More power to you. Go out and have a banana split, have 20 pounds of pasta with sausage. Great. I only wish I could do the same, but like millions of the rest of us, I can't. And, man, what the impact, in a half an hour, I went from feeling the very best I could possibly feel in this decrepit old marginal body of mine to feeling now like I got a goddamn anchor on my ass. I feel like I'm under about a 4,000-pound weight, like my that thing in my septic tank that they showed me the other day. But that's okay. This too shall pass, and I'll be bouncing back. Here's Miramar. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Okay.
I don't have that book yet. I want to get it, but I recently lost my waist size from a 40 to a 38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a start, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's good. It's good for me. I don't know.
How did you do that?
Well, I deliver auto parts.
And you started eating them.
No. No, I delivered them, and with all the walking I'm doing...
That'll solve that constipation problem a lot of our dieters are complaining of. Start eating auto parts, right.
You could just imagine eating a sheet metal hood.
All right.
Yeah. Hey,
you could be one of the boys eating the hood.
Right. Boys in the hood.
Moving along, yeah.
Yeah, you know that thing with Huizenga? I wish he would have put the stadium here in Broward. I have never, in all my life...
It just makes too much sense.
I have never been to a
Sawgrass thing would be perfect, man. That would be the piece de resistance right out there, right off the Sawgrass Expressway, piece of cake.
Exactly.
The only people who would have a tough time with that would be the people in South Dade, and they're used to having a tough time anyway. I mean, they get hurricanes, they get everything, so they're used to it. They're troopers.
I've never been to a hockey game. That's why I wish they would put it up here.
Yeah.
I've never been.
Okay, well, listen, when we put it next door to your house, I'll call you and we'll...
One thing in closing, Neil. There's a deli in Davie, and on Griffin Road, right at Davie Road Extension.
Oh, please don't talk food. They have what?
Poker burgers.
Well, I'm not eating them. We have an open line in Dade, 751-1 in Broward. I'm just... I'm wild. I'm wild about those nuts. Anybody ever say that to you? Oh, my God. I can't. How could this happen to me? How many days have I come in here minding my own goddamn business? And this guy at this nut store, I'm going to go down there and give him bada bing right now, okay? Good intentions again. You know what they say about the best of intentions going to hell in a handbasket. Leave me alone, okay? We arrange in here. We arrange if we want. Like I said the other day, I talked about, did I say bring him in some nuts? No! Everybody wants a plug on this goddamn show because they realize it's the most powerful goddamn show on the face of the globe. Everybody knows that except our sales department. But Jesus, Joseph and Ethel, what the hell kind of crap is this? I was talking about weenies we wanted, even though I don't need that right now, would have been something. The natural ones without the nitrates. I could have popped one of those in my puss. No carbohydrates. Wouldn't have made me sick. Wouldn't have moved that blood sugar an inch. But what do I wind up eating? 5 pounds of nuts. And you have that dragged down, like right up here in the upper, like not by your heart, but like to the left, upper by your shoulder, like this strangling feeling. Like there's a hand inside of you that's just squeezing your kishkis and just bleeding the energy out of your pathetic little body. Carbohydrates, they suck. It's a sickness, man. It's an illness. It's a disease, and we've stuck our finger on it. We've tapped into it. We've discovered it. For so many of us, it's killing us. And this guy's sending me nuts. Man, I've been searching and scouring for some good... Okay, let's go to North Miami Beach is gone. 2 open lines. What the hell is going on with these people? They're here 1 second, they're gone the next. Let's get with it here, okay? Brian Blades is back in Seattle. For Christ's sakes, his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, he says, this guy's got to play football, man. He ain't going to mess around, screw up his whole life just because he shot his cousin and he's dead. He ain't going to mess around with some crap like that. He's playing football. He feels bad, but he got football to play. And I got my 10% to take, or whatever percent he's getting, of that $3.7 million, and he wants it. So don't you think you're going to mess with us. It's a pain in the ass we had to come back here and disrupt all that, and the coach is just sick about it. Coach is drinking up a storm out there in Seattle. He's so pissed off. So don't mess with Brian, okay? Don't be messing with Brian. 2 open lines in Dade, 751 WIOD. 1 in Broward, 524-9463. No comments on that. I've told you that nobody who listens to Sports Talk listens to us the rest of the day. There's no crossover at all, and thank God. But I would like to hear from just one person in this audience who heard that embarrassing, that humiliating, that degrading unclothing of Jeff DeForest by Wayne Huizenga last night. I mean, a lick job, the likes of which, I'm serious. If the authorities would have been listening, they'd have turned the station off right at that point. We'd have they'd have yanked our license. They'd have yanked it right there. 1035 at WIOD.
The opinions expressed by the host, guests, or callers on WIOD are not necessarily those of the station or its sponsors. All WIOD programs are copyright 1995 by WIOD Incorporated. No tape recordings or transcripts may be created or distributed without prior written consent of WIOD Incorporated.
I've never been around a team that has been more supportive of any player, and the reason is that they know Brian. They know what kind of character Brian has. They know that this is an accident. They know that Brian would never do anything to hurt another person intentionally or negligently.
Oh, man, that's everything bad because, you know, the sale about 3x4, you know, and Illinois, that was saying, I ain't got no food, and other man. I tell you, man, I'm a little crazy. When the sale around, I didn't do nothing with a knife on the man, that's something like this, man, and he said, you know, when they call it, trying to, you know, Bubba said, man, whatever, Bubba said, I didn't do nothing. So whatever, I'm telling you like that, you know what I'm saying, man? Oh, man, so what's up at time, man? I didn't do nothing. I was right in the back of the van. I didn't do nothing, man. No wife, full Bronco, you know, so I was going to ask the gun in my head, you know, but I didn't know gun in my head because they know that I probably had the gun in my head. So I was you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I just don't know the blood glove, the kid over the bump in the back, you know, whatever, the nights and stuff, drops on the floor, the stains, that boy, the lights going on, the lights, the noise, and I the DMA, I don't do this, I just said that, you know, I don't know, man, you know, I'm he was so talking about you. It's my pleasure.
1041 at WIOD. Here's a Lady Mobile in Miami. Hello. Lady Mobile.
Hey, hello.
How you doing?
Is that Neil?
It's me.
Too cool. Neil, my name's Barbara. I was calling to tell you that I'm taking personal responsibility for you losing all that weight and looking so good. Should I tell you why?
Yeah.
Because I own the Soleil Water Company. And I understand you drink Soleil.
Yes, I do.
That is so hip.
You own the company?
Yes, I do.
Well, I love Soleil water, and I'm drinking some right now in my hot little hand, but I hate to break the news to you. I was still fat when I was drinking the Soleil before I started on the Atkins. So don't get too carried away, Barbara.
And not only that, are you going to lose weight and look fabulous, you're actually now going to live forever because this water comes from a pagan temple to the sun god in the Italian Alps. And we got all these, you know, fabulous goddesses and everything all swimming around there that they live forever. They've been there forever.
Yeah,
so.
I saw them as I flew over the Italian Alps on the way back this last time from Rome. I saw them. They were waving bye-bye.
That's right.
Yeah.
But anyway, great. I wanted to thank you so much, and I wanted to tell you that they sent me some tapes of things you'd said on the air, and I tell you, we think we're so cool in our office, but you made us feel prissy.
All right. Well, you better get with it, Barbara.
We have to loosen up.
We're almost up to the 15th century in America. You better get with the program.
Great. Well, keep at it, and thank you so much, and you're doing the right thing.
I love your good stuff, Barbara.
Thanks a lot.
And your water, too. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye, Neil.
Bye-bye. How do you like that? That's nice. We have an open line in Dade. Let me take a little swig right now, okay, to wash down those nuts. Oh, I'm not kidding, man. I'm not exaggerating. George just keeps feeling worse, and that's why I keep repeating it. I have the cramps, and I think without the M. There you go. That's Soleil. The best. With especially the sparkling. I mean, if you like the plain, if you have no personality, you like the bland, that's okay. I like mine with a little sparkle and a little something to cut through the mustard and the nuts. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing today?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
I was doing a lot better about an hour ago before I started eating those nuts. I don't want to keep emphasizing that, but I will.
Well, you're destined to always fall off the wagon every so
often. Oh, yeah, but why? I mean, if I'm going to fall off the wagon, give me like a hot fudge sundae or something. Give me a banana split. Give me a pound of pasta, but not nuts.
That's the way it is.
I know.
Listen, I heard Wayne, not on your station, on QAM.
Yeah.
And I got to say, I think the guy has a couple of points. Number one,
He's got a couple of points? Yeah, one on each side of his head like the devil.
Absolutely. But I really think the guy was sincere about the Broward County thing. He was...
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well,
he lied about it. What do you mean he was sincere? He lied about it.
Because the second statement after he said he wouldn't play in Broward was a personal decision. He wasn't going to go around being accused of being a blackmailer to the county, as other owners have been accused of.
And I'm going to tell you something right now, and you can mark it down. If Broward County would change their mind and decide they wanted to build this facility, I will not play here.
Okay. Yeah. Is there any question what that means?
Yes, there is.
No, there is not.
If you look at the statement after it, he made it clear. The reason why he said that was that he wasn't going to be a blackmailer of Broward County. He lived here for 40 years.
The fact is, what he said was that he wasn't going to go back on his statement that he made before. This man's gone back on every statement that he's ever made, including he wasn't interested in the least in buying the Dolphins, and then within a matter of weeks after that, he bought the Dolphins. It was the same with Joe Robbie Stadium. He had no interest in buying the stadium. A matter of weeks after that, he bought the stadium. If he tells you it's Tuesday, you better look at the calendar and see what day it really is.
Oh, okay.
If he tells you the sun is shining, you better look for a big moon.
Okay, the other thing
he's probably flashing it at you.
The other thing he said there, he was willing not to make any money at all on the $110 million that he invested in the thing.
Yeah.
Just go for the whole thing as a break-even operation. And I think that's a reasonable deal. man says he's not going to make any money, if you can believe him. And
I don't believe anything he says.
Well, so how do we save hockey for Florida? Because you turned me on to it. I'm a season ticket holder.
We save
and
hockey for Florida by Mickey Arison and Wayne Huizenga sitting down, figuring out that they're going to put it right there on the property he owns by the stadium, and writing out a check and building a nice state-of-the-art arena and owning all the skyboxes and everything there. And if it's such a great deal, they'll make all the money and charge us an arm and a leg, and we'll go and pay it and have a good time.
Okay, I'll go for that.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
See ya. Yeah, if you go, see how easy it is to manipulate the public? You say something one day, and then, I never said that. You got it on tape, but I never said that. Listen to the rest of what I said. Yeah, well, I did listen to the rest of what he said. He says it right there, and he even emphasizes, mark it down. Mark it down, baby. Put it down in blood, because that's what he said.
I got you down.
Exactly. We marked it down in indelible ink. And it's right down there on Jeff DeForest's butt. That's what it says right there. Butt, as in big ass-licking whatever. And now he says, I didn't mean that. Well, anybody. We don't care who it is. Broward, Dade, Monroe, Palm Beach, Collier County, the Moon, Uranus. Anybody that's willing, that's dumb enough to start taxing the public. And the Sun Sentinel comes right along like a bunch of obedient ass-lickers like they are. And they have a lead editorial here today in the Sun Sentinel. Oh, boy. We can't wait to licky. There's a hell of a line there waiting to lick him. No wonder he's got a shiny bald spot. Even Steve Ziegler's bald spot don't shine like that thing. Close. A new home for the Panthers and Heat makes sense for South Florida. Lead editorial in the Slum Sentinel today. In the initial discussions. Before that, it says, regardless of whether the Civic Center is located in Sunrise, Fort Lauderdale, Boca, Miami, or on Hypinga's land near Joe Robbie Stadium in North Dade, people need to keep an open mind concerning tax support. That's what he wants you to do, keep an open behind, because he's going to really, in the initial discussions on a Broward Civic Center, knee-jerk negativity overwhelmed the debate. Rather than waiting for the data and carefully weighing costs versus benefits, most Broward residents turned a quick thumbs down. Currently, South Florida plays host to Major League Baseball, football, basketball, and hockey. That says a lot about an arena that's quickly developed into one of the nation's great population and economic centers. Area. Yeah, right. South Florida is in the big leagues, and it needs to do its best to make sure the big league teams that gave it its national exposure are here to say, if Florida was in the big leagues, it wouldn't have the Herald and the Sun Sentinel. I'll tell you that right now. It would have somebody with the balls to stand up to Wayne Huizenga and a couple of the writers at the papers like Dave Joseph and Dave Hyde and Greg, what's his name, Cote, and who was the other one? Whatever the hell his name was. A couple of the writers have got the balls to stand up to Wayne Huizenga, but all you butt-lickers out there like the editorial board, every time he says jump, he snaps his fingers and you guys go through hoops, man. You see, you don't want to get the message, do you? You don't want to get the message that people in this area, with all the other pressing needs that we got, they're not willing to spend their tax money to help a bunch of millionaires build an arena. We're willing to spend our own dollars to go there and help subsidize the team if we like it, which I do and a lot of other people do. That's fine. But as far as building it with our money, no way, Jose. It's a slap in the face of the goddamn public. And for him to come on here and whine about he's losing 10 million. I'm going to tell you something, Andy. If you don't stick your foot way up Jeff DeForest's ass, there's going to be a long line of people to do it. Exactly. What a hose job there last night, man. Wayne, I understand, is drained. He's in intensive care this morning from getting hosed on 2 different radio stations last night. Man, oh, man, it's a miracle a man will ever walk again.
Squirt.
Frightening. 10:49. I think what you ought to do is send Phil out there and next time we have the opportunity like that and pretend to be Jeff DeForest. And let Steve Warnell do the interview on that bald-headed geek. Then we'd have some serious questions.
But wait, yeah.
Trust me. 10:49 at WIOD.
WIOD. Channel surfing builds the right muscles. But stop right here.
Tengo tanto pellejo que se perdió la punta.
Oh!
Asshole. That Wayne Huizenga's such an asshole.
Just lick him.
He yelled at Mandich, that greedy turd, because he wouldn't take a shower with Hank Goldberg. Asshole. H. Wayne Huizenga's such an asshole. asshole. He's just like Hitler and Eva Braun. What's that he's pounding on?
Yeah, but let me say something first. Let me say something.
Essential asshole. The only thing there is left to say is drop dead right away.
And I'm going to tell you something else, you people with the short memories. This is the same guy who said about 2 months ago, just when the season was ending, he says, if you guys don't put something together within the next 3 months, I'm going to give you this deadline, and if you don't put it together, the team will be sold. That's what he said. And now all of a sudden this guy, because he comes on here and he tries to like smooth it over after opening his big temperamental psychotic mouth, after that, this guy and thousands of others out there believe it because he comes on here and he lies a lot. All he does, again, the schoolyard bully. He just keeps threatening and threatening, and there's just no way, and if you guys don't do that. And then last night he's telling Defo in the middle of all this licking that's going on, he's saying, when we went for the Panthers, I got to admit that was a mistake in the first place. We didn't really study the lease with the arena well enough, and we were in a big hurry, and we only had a short period of time. In other words, he's saying he's a bad businessman, and we're supposed to feel sorry for him, okay? Poor baby. We're going to drown in that sea of crocodile tears. Underline the croc part. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami. Going once. Going twice. Okay, all of Dade is wide open now, 7519463. There's not one person who heard that on, everybody heard him on sports after the game last night on QAM. That's kind of interesting. That's revealing. But nobody heard the Jeff DeForest ass-licking with the Wayne Huizenga. Not one person in this audience heard it last night. Not one. That is astonishing. Here's Cooper City on the Purple Line. Hello.
Hey, Uncle Neil, I heard
Yes, sir.
it.
All right, here's the one guy.
Yeah, I thought it was an early edition of Passion Phones, and the topic was men doing men.
Oh, my God.
I don't want to belabor it, but I think we need to organize one day where we all just ban anything that has Huizenga on it. I know you do already, but a lot of people still,
And all these people that are like, I am so disgusted with this column in the Sun Sentinel. I think it was Gordon Eads this morning, who generally has a little bit of a brain, but I guess lost it. He writes this, Marlins have earned a warm welcome home. And, it's the player of the All-Star game, Jeff Conine. They're honoring him. He's a good player and he's a good guy, but nobody cares about Jeff Conine. And it's this hideous Nomo, that jet pitcher for the Dodgers that everybody is supposed to be so excited about. He doesn't want to get it. Gordon Eads doesn't get it. Wayne don't want to get it. The owners and the players don't want to get it. The public is saying, we don't care. We're not interested. And if the public gets sucked into coming out, and I hear Defo saying the same thing, if we don't have 40,000 people at that game tonight, there's something really wrong. There's something wrong, all right, and that is that the people are pissed off of subsidizing spoiled rich people. We're sick and tired of it.
Exactly.
And I'm going to tell you another thing about, another reason I like hockey and I can't stand some of these other sports. Hockey, these guys go out there, they're putting out an effort. They get injured, they crawl on their knees, they hop over the bench. They're they continue under the most impossible circumstances because they're real men, as Mandich would say. Baseball, Gary Sheffield had that injury rounding second base. He's standing there holding his thumb, he gets tagged out. He don't give a crap about anything. You watch these baseball players today. The guy for the other team gets a base hit, he goes to first base, and the first baseman from the opposing team pats him on the ass with his glove. What the hell is that? You would never have seen that 30 years ago. You never would have seen the kind of... And basically the message you get in baseball and football, not in hockey, but in baseball and football is, hey, we're a bunch of spoiled millionaires. We got ours. I mean, if we win, that's nice, but we don't care because win or lose, we're getting the big bucks. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's all.
Yeah, they're not sportsmen. They're not athletes. They're a bunch of drug addicts. They're a bunch of criminals. Look at boxing. Look what's happened with that. That joke. Somehow Foreman won the fight. That was a fix by Don King if I've ever seen one.
Boy, what a concept.
Yeah, and then this Brian Blades thing. Tell me there wasn't drugs and booze involved. And what's he doing bringing a gun into a room where there's a fight? That's the last thing you do in this world, unless you're defending yourself.
Unless you live in Miami, right.
Well, unless you're in Miami, of course, too. Yeah, that's required. And this thing with Huizenga, everybody wants to look and say, Daddy Huizenga, he's taking care of us. And then when he turns around...
He's taking care of us, all right.
He beat up 3 different counties three different cities to get his own county established, and then, when it wasn't going to be profitable, walked away after beating up so many chambers of commerce and commissioners, and now everybody still patronizes his stores.
I guess everybody forgets about the, that pizza place he put out of business, and they forget about that sound warehouse deal and the guys that he fired because their hair was a little bit too long for Uncle Wayne.
I mean,
he wants everybody to march into line and goose step along on his agenda,
That's right.
and everybody else can be damned. That's the deal.
If everybody can't walk away from him for good, like people like you and I and people with brains have done,
I can't walk away from him for good. I'm going to the Panther games. I'm not walking. I'm not going to spite myself.
Well, no, not the Panther games, not that. Don't do that. But I'm saying don't go to Blockbuster World or whatever he's got out there in Fort Lauderdale. Don't go to the Blockbuster videos, the Blockbuster music stores, where everybody looks the same. All they need is a little mustache.
And when the prices are all jacked up and you're getting ripped off, right?
Exactly. How about just one day, everybody boycott anything that has Huizenga's name on it?
That ain't going to happen.
I know,
Forget
but it should, damn it.
It's not going to happen.
I know, but
these people are lemming their sheep, just like this guy. He represents thousands of others. They heard Big Daddy on the radio last night, unfortunately not on the station. They heard him on the air last night, and he lied through his teeth. Oh, yeah, well, he's got a point. He's got a point, all right, and you can probably feel it where you sit. Have a great life, pal.
Take care, buddy.
Good luck to us all.
Badges? We don't need no stinking badges.
It's called a hemorrhoid.
News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
WAYNESUCKS.
News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk with Neil, call 751-WIOD in Dade.
You jackass.
524-WIOD in Broward.
Unbelievable.
Outside the 305 area code, it's toll-free, 1-800-944-WIOD.
Incredible.
And Cellular One customers can call pound IOD at no
Father
charge.
O'Toole, God.
The Neil Rogers Show on News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
Oh, I would not worship false gods, no. I do what the Catholics say. And at Father O'Malley's communion, I get down on my knees and pray. Oh, little altar boy, how could you know what's right? You are the Father's pet. He likes some young and time. He bends you over again for the thrill of a lifetime. Over and over again. Oh, at Father O'Malley's communion, kneel down and open wide. Yes, at Father O'Malley's communion, you'll receive the body of Christ. Oh, under Father O's robe, he's naked 'cause that's his style. It makes for easy access. Oh, he's an old pedophile. He's all bent over again for the thrill of a lifetime. Over and over again. Oh, I would not worship false gods, no. I do what the Catholics say. And at Father O'Malley's communion, I get down on my knees and pray. Oh, yes, at Father O'Malley's communion, kneel down and open wide. Yes, at Father O'Malley's communion, you'll receive the body of Christ. Oh! Yes, at Father O'Malley's communion, kneel down.
Okay, let's all pack up and go to Rosa Lopez's house and see if we can't get all of this, we get an exorcism would be good. It's 11:08 at WIOD. We have an open line in Dade, one in Broward, one on the green line. One here, one there, and one everywhere. Okay, that's what we got. Here's a lady mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How's it going?
Oh, good.
Good. Neil, were you a dessert lover before you started the Atkins diet?
Not all that much.
Not all that much?
I mean, yeah, I like my ice cream, and I like my pies, and I like my cookies, and I like my cakes, and I like, but no, I'm not.
Nothing particular. Well, I have some good news for you.
Yeah.
You know, I have the old book, so it has some recipes in the back.
But I mean, you know something? I don't do recipes.
Oh,
I don't need that. I don't need desserts.
Okay. Well, for those listeners who do,
Yeah.
it's simple. I did the ice cream last night.
Yeah.
It's great.
Uh-huh.
And I also
Well, there's recipes in the new book.
Oh, good. Well, then my advice is I tested it out and do try it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Take care.
See ya. Open line in Dade, 751-WIOD. We have two lines in Broward, 524-9463. You know what really pisses me off big time? Yesterday and again today. I come on here and I share with you some of the things that I'm discovering myself. I share with you. Doesn't that sound like some real psychobabble crap? Uh-oh. Now we know the nuts are having an effect on that brain, whatever is left of it. And I get nothing. We've got thousands and thousands of people out there who have bought this book, who are on this diet, most of whom that we're hearing from are really doing great, a lot better than I am, because obviously I'm one of those super resistant people that's just about going to have to not eat any carbohydrates for about the next 2 months, which is okay after I just discover what it's all about. Nothing. Zero. See, I'm supposed to be the cheerleader. In fact, my mother said to me several days ago, she says, well, you know, Nels, after that article in the Herald, people are counting on you. You're going to have to be the ringleader. You're going to have to do real good, Nels. And that's why she goes ahead and puts onions in the hamburgers when I told her, don't put any onion in the hamburger, goddammit. Don't put no onions in there. She keeps trying to slip all this extra stuff in there. She puts on the table all this crap that I can't eat, but it's on that page. Yeah, but that don't mean you're supposed to eat all of it with the same meal. Okay, you got it? But I have to set the good example. But hey, they're not going to give me nothing back because they don't give a crap about me and whether I lose the weight or feel good or not. All they are is like selfish and want something for themselves, like most people. Open line in Dade, one in Broward, one on the green line. Here's a lady in Sunrise. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
Got a quick question for you.
Uh-huh.
How many peanuts did you eat?
I didn't eat any peanuts.
Well, when I turned the radio on this morning, you were talking about all these peanuts.
I was not talking about peanuts. See, here we go again, all you Bible believers.
They were nuts.
Nuts.
Okay.
I had almonds. No, I did not eat the almonds. I had cashews and I had macadamia nuts.
Okay.
Enough to fill up a wastebasket. Because those things, like all carbohydrates, I'm addicted to them. And once I start having a couple, and if the whole box, I could eat in the whole box. I'll tell you that right now. I could eat in the whole box, and right now I'd be on the floor puking my guts out.
Well, my husband and I have been on Dr. Atkins' diet for about 5 weeks now.
Yeah.
And we both have done really good. I think we both lost between 12 and 15 pounds.
Great.
But the thing is, we're trying to find what's a good snack food when you're sitting there watching television and
cheese.
Well, that, and we also, I know.
Salami.
Did you ever try the Jell-O? Do you like Jell-O?
Diet Jell-O, real bad for you. NutraSweet.
Oh, NutraSweet? Sweet?
But if you don't have a problem with it, and if it doesn't slow you down, that's okay. But a lot of people, including me, no NutraSweet. It's a killer.
Oh, okay.
Bad.
But and then the other thing we've been snacking on is probably maybe just a handful of peanuts. That's why when I heard you this morning.
A handful, a very small handful. Otherwise, it's going to slow you way down.
Okay, all right.
But try a little piece of cheese, Jarlsberg, little salami.
Yeah, those are good too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Thank you for talking to me.
Okay. Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Open line in Dade County, 751-9463, one in Broward, 524-WIOD. The deadest place on the face of the earth is Miami. That's why I have to laugh. Every time these assholes in these newspapers keep, we've got all the sports. This is a real big league town. This is Podunkville. This is a big hick town spread out over a big wide area with a bunch of Neanderthals, with a bunch of disconnected little municipalities and a bunch of disconnected, disjointed people who have nothing in common and no common interest. And that's South Florida for you. And all these rednecks, all these yokels, all these very little parochial people like the newspaper people and the Chamber of Commerce people, this is a world-class city. Well, obviously, these people have never really been anywhere. That is a real world-class city. Because God Almighty, if there really is such a thing as a world-class city, this ain't it. But hey, we'll wake some of you bastards up if it's the last goddamn thing I do. And the way I feel right now, probably will be. What time are they bringing that food? What time is Woody coming back in here again today? Oh, man. Not only am I nauseous from those nuts, but I got to look at his puss again today. That's going to be it, I think. That'll put me over the edge. 11:13 at WIOD.
610 WIOD. Stress relief without lithium.
He's an agent provocateur.
It's time to tell lies on Prodigy. Prodigy's online chat feature lets you chat anonymously with people all over the world. People you don't have a chance in hell of ever meeting, which means you can lie your head off.
Hello, fellow Prodigy users. I'm 6'5", ruggedly handsome, no pimples, especially not on my back, and I'm a spy. A pretty important spy, too. I'm currently involved in a very sensitive assignment, working undercover at the drive-thru at Burger Hut. Oh, and our national security's at stake, so don't tell anyone, okay?
When you tell lies on Prodigy, you can join any discussion group you want, and no one can call you on it. I'm so glad I found this new young mother's breastfeeding discussion group. As a new young mother myself, I'm naked, and my nipples are very sensitive. Ugh. Yes, when you tell lies on Prodigy, you can become anyone you want.
Confidential to Stud Muffin. I'm a petite, blue-eyed blonde, 105 pounds, and I like long walks along the beach, kitties, and assault weapons. Oh, wait, typo, I mean daisies.
Tell lies on Prodigy. It's a great way to get a life, especially if it's not your own.
And especially if you don't have one. 11:18 at WIOD. Let's go to Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Praise the Lord for the angry prophet denouncing the hypocrisy of our time.
Howard.
What?
It's Howard Beale.
Neil Rogers.
What's wrong with being an angry prophet denouncing the hypocrisies of our time? I don't know. Do you want to be an angry prophet denouncing the hypocrisies of our time? Yeah, I think I would like to be an angry prophet denouncing the hypocrisy of our time. Then go for it.
Praise the Lord, Neil.
I can give you the whole goddamn dialogue from Network starting right in the beginning.
Last night
And don't forget, I'll get back to you, Diana.
Neil, last night I ripped QAM for being shills of Emperor Wayne.
Yeah.
One of them cries to me, he's so sincere, he's losing so much money.
Who said that one, Rockhead or the Mouse?
Yeah, no, Rocky.
Rockhead?
Verified. Do you have access to
Rockhead bend over?
Yeah. Do you have access to his books? Secondly, if he's losing so much money, and he doesn't want to lose so much money, then sell the goddamn team.
Right.
It sounds like a simple prescription to me. Also, yesterday, Joe Zagacki wondered out loud, where's the community support? Why aren't we helping this man? Joe Zagacki, my community support stops at my goddamn wall.
Joe Zagacki sucks, okay?
The fact is the community is supporting the team like crazy. 97% sellout in the 2 seasons, or 1.5 seasons we had so far, which is better than most of the teams in the league, and especially for a half-assed expansion team, better than anybody could have expected in a backwater town like this. So the fans have been there showing their support. The ticket prices are jacked way to hell up again this year. Nobody's complaining too much about it. Fans are still going back. So the fan support has been sensational. But leave it to an ass sucker like Joe Zagacki with those cockamamie eyebrows to once again get that tongue out. You know, when are we going to get rid of all these ass lickers we have in this town, from Jeff DeForest and Joe Zagacki and the editorial board at the Sun Sentinel to just a few people who have the guts to tell the truth?
Well,
no balls in this town, man.
The reason why
no nuts.
The reason why is because QAM is desperate to get the Dolphins, to snare the Dolphins. Because if they snare the Dolphins...
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something very funny? They're losing their ass on the Marlins,
Of
okay?
course.
Now, let me tell you, number 2, the Dolphin contract runs out on this station in a couple of years. The Dolphins don't make money on WIOD and never have. It's very expensive. They pay $3 million a year for the rights, then all the expenses for the line charges and paying the announcers and all the other stuff that they're the producers. It is the most, and the network, it's one of the most time-consuming and expensive and god-awful ventures that anybody would ever have to get into. And I think that would be perfect for the assholes at QAM. Let them have one more goddamn white elephant that they can lose their ass on. And I'm telling you right now, those 2 bozos that own QAM and KISS, they can't afford to take any more punishment. If they wind up getting another losing proposition, they're going to have to sell that thing.
Don't let up, Neil. Keep the pressure on this
okay,
line
pal.
ball.
See ya. 2 open lines. They're both in Broward. Of course, Broward's been abused, but he took it all back. He said, anywhere. Okay, whatever you say. Somebody, any place, anyone. And I'm going to say it again. Mickey Arison and Wayne Huizenga, between the 2 of them, they got enough money to buy and sell all the rest of us 50 million times over with. And I, for one, I have a house. I'm a taxpayer in Broward County. I'm not spending a dime of tax money to subsidize any goddamn arena, convention center, white elephant, whatever the hell it is. I'm not doing it. If it isn't enough that I go there and subsidize with my own hard-earned money to buy tickets and promote it on the goddamn air and put thousands of people in their seats, which I never got a thank you for, by the way, from the people who really counted in that organization. Thousands of people in the goddamn hockey arena the last 2 years. Not for Wayne Huizenga, but because I love the sport and I love the Panthers. That's why. And by the way, I see they re-signed Tom Fitzgerald and Jody Hull. And who was the other one? Somebody else. Nice going, Brian. Maybe we can work on some speech therapy for you. So I'm doing my part, okay? But the taxpayer shouldn't have to get raped again. And then, there was an interesting thing that came out in that interview yesterday, besides the fact that Defoe's such an ass licker, and that was the fact that he says, well, that whole deal, that first deal there with the restaurant tax, that wasn't my idea. That's right. And see, this is another thing the Sun Sentinel obviously has got a bad memory lapse about. The reason that there was such a negative immediate impact or feedback from the public on that deal was because they tried to slide it through. They were working behind closed doors with the legislature up in Tallahassee, and it wasn't even Wayne's idea. You can't blame him for this one. It was a bunch of greedy hotel and restaurant operators over there on the strip on the beach who thought, oh, yeah, we'll get the legislature to okay another cent sales tax increase, and we'll have it right over here, which there's no way to get there. It made no sense over there. There are no highways. There's no road. There's no access to it, and it made no sense. But just a bunch of greedy assholes who decided arbitrarily behind closed doors, let's foist this on the public. And let's go behind their back and go to Tallahassee and let's see if we can't squeeze this through. And the public got pissed off. Well, what a surprise, okay? So all you rocket scientists over there at the editorial board in the Sun Sentinel, man, maybe a lobotomy might help you out, okay? Like you did that Kennedy daughter. Put you off in a broom closet somewhere, never to be heard from again like her. I mean, let's get serious. Keep slapping the public in the face over and over. Well, I didn't really mean that. Okay, oh, now you're a good guy. Okay, now we got you. All right, now we're on the same page. How much do you want? And you notice, by the way, I'm not getting one call today about that thing about waste management that we talked about yesterday, Southern Sanitation, which I would think that we'd have gotten a lot of calls about that. Somebody who at least can give me what the law is about whether we have to keep subsidizing Wayne's company, whether we want to or not, if we're a homeowner. Or we can't just get rid of our own garbage. Can't even get an answer from that from all you deadheads out there. God almighty. And you wonder how this town is so easily manipulated by a few greedy bastards? And I also heard on that later on Defoe's show when he's asking, gee, anybody believe that crap he was saying? Which he didn't have the balls to say to his face. And some guy and Defoe's trying to say, well, Joe Robbie came to the public, too. And Joe Robbie did come to the public, and when he got turned down, instead of being a spoiled child and say, well, I'm packing up the Dolphins, and believe me, there were plenty of markets in this country that would have given their left nut for the Dolphins. Instead, he went out there and used his own money and helped get the funding to build Joe Robbie Stadium, which, let's face it, if we didn't have Joe Robbie Stadium, the Dolphins and the Marlins would be like in deep doo-doo also. So the Sun Sentinel can remind us, we got the Dolphins in tomorrow. Yeah, but we got Joe Robbie Stadium, which is now owned by the same goddamn grave robber, but was built by Joe Robbie, which everybody thought he was an asshole. He was a saint. He was a giant compared to this midget brain, compared to this garbage salesman. 11:24 at WIOD.
610 WIOD. We partied all through college, and look at us now.
This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. They don't come any better than Neil Rogers.
Hi, I'm Sophia Coppola. When I'm not acting, which is most of the time, I like to cruise around with my famous father.
Take a left, Sophie.
Yes, Daddy. And I'm really learning to take direction well, too.
Take a right, Sophie.
Yes, Daddy. And now I'm even doing car...
Commercials.
Oh, Daddy, what do you think this is? Anyways?
Kids will not buy these old folks' wheels.
Slow down, Sophie.
This campaign's getting stupid. It's old.
11:28. I remember when Godfather 3 came out, and there were guys calling in saying, "Oh yeah, that's what the Italian men like is women with a schnoz like that." And you believe that?
There were guys calling in admitting it.
Admitting what?
That they liked her.
That they thought she was hot?
Yeah, remember? A couple.
You could have a party just on her nose.
Or in it.
On her nose. Open line in Broward, 524. The green lines I gave up years ago on, and why the hell not? Why waste our time with them? Because they're going to have the hockey team up there in Palm Beach, and we'll be down here sucking hind leg. Here's Hallandale. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Hind end, yes.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay.
Listen, Neil, I wanted to talk to you about...
Nobody else heard that show last night on Sports Talk. I'm telling you, man, if that show's got a .00 share, it's a miracle to me. These sports shows, man, get rid of them.
Neil.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about Brian Blaze.
Yes?
Who's in charge?
Who's in charge of what?
Of this guy.
Dennis Erickson.
Who the heck says
and
you can kill somebody?
Drew Rosen-Osterhaus.
Since when does a football player have a license to kill people?
Oh, man.
Since O.J.
It's
He set-
this guy's
he set
running
the
around like if
precedent.
nothing happened.
But there's only one guy dead. With OJ, it was 2, so this is small potatoes.
Oh, this is terrible. How
This
could
is
that
terrible.
be?
Don't you understand this guy's got a football career? Are you some kind of ungrateful bastard that he's playing out there with the Seahawks and he's running faster and jumping higher?
He shot him 2 times.
He's a lot higher than he ever was before.
Oh, my God. And the
That's
other
what he
thing
said.
is, this Huizenga guy,
Yeah.
Neil, the arena is going up around Joe Robbie Stadium. Forget about it. It's not going anyplace else.
So
The roads
what's
are
wrong with
already
that?
in place. The parking is in place.
Yeah.
It's in a black community. That means they're not going to be able to stop this guy. They're going to bring the train station up there.
Just a minute. Why would anybody want to stop it? What's wrong with it being there? That's where it belongs. It should have been there 5 years ago.
Well, there's something...
Nobody should have ever built the Miami Arena in downtown Miami in the middle of a slum. Who the hell wants to go there?
This is true. But, there are people who are complaining that, they're still building homes around there.
So?
And it's getting congested. Sometimes it's a problem just to go home.
Well, guess what? Sometimes it's a problem just to get out on Sunrise Boulevard, where I live in the Acres, which 3-4 years ago was nice and peaceful before they built the Sawgrass Mall. I'm not complaining. I knew it was going to be all developed and built up. Time goes on. Time marches on, man.
The other thing is they're going to bring the train station up there.
So what's wrong with that?
No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
It's great. I say let it happen tomorrow.
But I'm saying that's what...
Go to bed tonight, wake up tomorrow, and it's there, ready to rock and roll. And get rid of that goddamn Miami Arena, another white elephant that never should have been built in the first place, except the city of Miami wants everything in the city of Miami. Nobody wants to go to the goddamn city of Miami. I'll tell you that right now.
But
unless they need got a hole in their head.
But you know what
and if they do go there, they'll wind up with a hole in their head.
He's going to make his own city out there, right around that stadium, and where he puts the arena, and that's going to be Huizenga country.
He owns the property. Okay, get out of here. We have an open line in Dade, 751, and one on the green line. See, there's a guy just wants to scream and go off just for the sake of it, okay? Because he figures it's fashionable. He's going to please me if he just goes off. Well, he did just go off the phone, and that pleased me a lot. It belongs out there. You know how long ago I was talking about this? Way, way back when I was on W Snooze at night doing all that, hello, doctor, all that crap. And I remember that Howard Foreman, that twerpy Howard Foreman with his stupid little pipe and that stupid little mustache sitting there, oh, Neil, go away for 5 years and come back and we'll get this all done. You're just so negative, Neil. Yeah. And here we are, it's like 15 years later, and they're still hocking a Chinik about doing it right. And what was the name of the brothers that left the land? They gave the land to Joe Robbie. They left it to the Dolphins. They owned that whole parcel. No, seriously, there was 2 brothers, very wealthy brothers, and they owned that enormous lot out there, that whole Dolphin complex, which there is a name for that, but Lake Lucerne. And they owned all of that. And they just, for like $1, they left it to the Dolphins, to Joe Robbie. And, of course, Wayne bought it all. So he owns that whole thing there. And then we kept hearing about, this is not Blockbuster Park. We're talking about the complex that was supposed to be there a long time ago. And the original discussion was there was going to be a domed stadium for baseball. Never happened, which I got news for you. Even as pissed off as people are, if they had a domed stadium in this tropical slaughterhouse of a jungle, there'd be a hell of a lot more people going to those games instead of sweating their ass off and fighting mosquitoes the size of bowling balls. And there was supposed to be also a big Olympic track there, and there was going to be all these other facilities. And there's plenty of room to build it all. It never happened. And there was going to be the arena, and there was going to be this and the stadium. So here we are 15, 20 years later, and they're still talking and squawking and everything else, and they can't make up their goddamn mind. No, it just makes too much sense. It reminds me of those assholes that say, oh, we missed the Orange Bowl. The Orange Bowl is a toilet, okay? It doesn't have any toilets, but it is a toilet. It's a piece of dreck, and nobody in their right mind, except some of those demented drug-induced fans, nobody wants to go to that part of town under a penalty of death. Nobody wants to go to the goddamn Orange Bowl, unless, of course, it's FSU and the Hurricanes. Then all of a sudden it's a big happening, so they'll go anywhere. If they were playing in Boynton Beach, they would go there. But don't fight these people with anything that's common sense, because here's something right at the Dade-Broward line that's got its own exit on the turnpike, for crying out loud. You drive in right off the turnpike, and you're right inside there, man. What the hell more convenience could you want than that? Oh, no, that doesn't make too much sense. Like that guy that called in the first hour, he'd never seen a hockey game, but when they build an arena right next to his house, he might actually go because he heard it's pretty good. Here's a lady in Delray. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Calling you because I just heard a tiny bit of DeForest last night.
Yeah.
And what I did hear made me turn it off, because he was sitting there saying that he was talking about the high concession prices. and how, well, that's okay because this is America and free enterprise and this, that, and the other
Sure,
thing.
free enterprise means rip off their fans who are already paying these big bucks
But, I mean,
for all
he's
your
like
tickets.
condoning it, which
Right.
is just more of the,
Ass-sucking.
the kissing that you're talking about.
Right.
And then also on the Atkins, one thing for you, if you hadn't checked it out, is the pepper jack cheese has 0 carbs, and
Yeah.
it adds quite a bit of spice.
Provolone has no carbs, which I
Right.
love provolone, and
And,
Jarlsberg has 0.
12 pounds in 2 weeks.
Great. Oh! Congratulations.
Thank you both times. It was you that got me started on it.
Great. Keep doing it. Okay. What the hell just happened? Did she get, like, kidnapped or something there, or what? Sounded like somebody just stuck her head in a wastebasket and dangled the phone against it. And the basket, too. Oh, man, we got an open line in Dade, 1 in Broward, 2 on the green lines, 4 on the mahogany lines, 16 on the burgundy lines, 27 on the red lines, 42 on black. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's Miami on the purple line. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, okay.
Good. Sticking with the greed and Wayne for a minute. I've been a Dolphin season ticket holder for about 6 years until this year.
Yeah.
After that playoff game,
Me too.
when they went ahead and put out all the parking passes for everybody rather than the season ticket holders.
Yeah, that was a nice touch, right.
That was great. And
Mm-hmm.
now, like that last caller was talking about, the caller before, about all those other parking lots they're building now, that's not preparing anything except now that if you buy a ticket, even going there for one, you can now get a parking pass. So it's first come, first served.
Nice.
So if you want to go 3 hours or 4 hours before a game, you may actually get close to the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the story with Wayne. So he's really supporting the
Stick
community.
it to those season ticket holders, baby. Just tell them to bend over and stick it in that pitchfork as far as it'll go.
Well, I supported him. I gave him up. So, anyways, going to another subject. Drew Rosenhaus, is it?
Yeah.
Would
Drew
you buy,
Rosenhaus.
Would you buy a used car from that man?
He's a piece of crap. Everybody knows he's a piece of crap. All these agents and these promoters, man, they're just like Don King, man. They're just Don King with a different hairdo.
I was watching him on TV last night,
Yeah.
looking at him talking.
His attitude, this is the most arrogant son of a bitch I've ever seen in my life. Well, he's not going to do this. What do you think? He's going to occupy his life with this just because he shot his cousin and he's dead? He's got football to play, man. Who the hell are you people anyway? And he had to come all the way back here? You got some goddamn nerve, man. It was just an accident. Let him go on and play some football and be a superstar.
Well, doesn't he remind you a little bit of a ferret?
Yeah, a big ferret.
A big ferret.
Okay, pal, have a great life. We have an open line on the purple line, 1 in Broward, 524. He's got football to play. We can't be messing around his life with this little contretemps here. This is just an inconvenience for us. He got to be in camp, man, because Dennis Erickson is drinking like a maniac now, like a fish. And he better sober up when he gets back, because he's going to run fast and jump high. And he'll be almost as high as Dennis. It's 11:37 at WIOD.
610 WIOD. Think of us as mutant genes looking for a new target organ every day.
It's me again, Bob. Douche when you're done.
You know when he's white, you know you can feel it, baby. You know it, hear it, his timing's so white.
He's a honky,
You picked the white one, baby.
He's a honky.
If he's totally white breadable and occasionally dreadable and ain't got no butterball, you picked the white one, baby.
You got the white one, baby.
You know when he's white, you just got to face it.
You got the white one, baby.
You got the white one. If he's completely Pat Boonable, very uncolorful and laughably fullable, you picked the white one, baby.
11:42 at WIOD. There's an opening in Dade, a big wide opening. It looks like the Grand Canyon. The purple cellular one line. There's a big wide hole right in the middle of it. And there's one in Broward and one on the green line. Oh, man, I knew the dog days of summer. I knew that we were like right on the edges of it now. But now we got Weimaraners, we got German Shepherds, we got Collies, we got Golden Retrievers, we got Min Pins, Big Pins, we got bowling pins, we got it all. We're dying over here, man. Every day is drudgery because these people are dead and they need somebody to just to stick. I think Wayne's doing a service for you, man. He keeps sticking that pitchfork in there deeper and deeper and deeper, and you can't feel it just yet, but one of these days when it hurts the most. Here's Miami Lakes. Hello.
Yeah, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Joe Robbie, you mentioned before. You got to give him credit for bringing him down, but he's also the guy that eventually brought in Wayne.
What do you mean eventually brought him in?
Well, because he constructed the stadium, he was kind of strapped financially. I think he was the one that enlisted Wayne to bring in baseball and needed the financial backing in order to put this whole thing together.
I think you're dreaming. How many years ago did Joe Robbie die? I think he died about 5 years ago.
If you remember, just after he passed away, Tim and Danny were the guys that signed the paperwork with Wayne.
Yeah.
And it was already in the works before Joe died.
Yeah. Well, so what does that mean?
Well, I'm just saying.
So in other words, we're going to blame him posthumously for the fact that Wayne is an asshole and all the stuff he's done since then?
No, the guy's a saint, but he made a mistake, constructing JRS because it strapped him so financially. Eventually, he had to give away something that belonged to the family.
Well, now it belongs to another family.
A worse family.
You know what family I'm talking about? Yeah, that
Play
family.
Play that music.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm not playing no music. You know what family I'm talking about. I don't want to get too specific, but we all know exactly what we're talking about. Have a great day, pal. Joe Robbie's God. Let's dig him up, okay, and build him a statue or something. Let's stick his ass right there in that seat where Wayne is supposed to sit. So the next time he goes there, there's Joe Robbie stiff sitting right there with that same... And, of course, you never know with Joe because whether he was dead or alive, he always had that same boring look on his puss. Just put a big stogie in his puss. Miserable, bigoted old... he was a piece of crap, that Joe Robbie. But nonetheless, for us sports fans, he was a saint. But as a human being, he was a turd, let's face it. I wouldn't give you a nickel for any part of his... Okay, we have an open line in Broward, 524. Woody's here with lunch today from the Embers, no doubt, right? And we're not going to mention that Hank Goldberg has a piece of the action over there because then, I'll get indigestion. But the food is great. Thank you so much. Boy, 2 days in a row we get a Woody in here. How do you like that? Embers New American at 1661 Meridian at Lincoln Road on fashionable pseudo-intellectual Miami Beach. The rebirth of a great dining tradition, it says. Oh, yeah, that's the old Embers was there like 100 years ago, right? Just like the famous. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So when you're bringing the famous back? You and Big Daddy. You and Big Daddy. It would be tear your kishkis out, plus it's not on our diet. Right. So what do we got here today? A little steak? I apologize because I'm probably not going to eat as much as I would have except for all those goddamn nuts that George brought in here this morning and just made me sick as a dog, which I'll never forget as long as I live. I have a long memory. A lot of things I can't remember, like which house is mine when I go home. But things like that, when somebody destroys my health and my livelihood, then I know.
So we've got strip steak and the filet mignon.
Strip steak and filet, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And your own bottle of Peter Luger's.
Oh, I can't have that, but I'll take it home. But thank you so much. Yeah, I can't have it right now. Oh, that would do it. Although, you know something, the day's already shot. Why the hell not? All right, now we're talking. Yeah, might as well. It's not going to make any difference now. This day is down the toilet, thanks to George. So now I can enjoy my great Peter Luger steak sauce with my steak here. Oh, boy. Okay, let's go to a mobile in Doral. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
God.
Yes, that's the one.
22.5 pounds. Today is my 14th day of the induction diet.
How much?
22.5.
Oh!
Yeah, that's what I say every morning when I visit the throne. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, I sure hope nobody's trying to screw it up for you like they are for me.
Oh, I still get some flack from the family. You're going to get a heart attack and this and that, but, I'm paying no mind to it.
I came in here this morning. My blood sugar was 66. I felt so good. I had enough energy to tear this whole building down in many days I would like to. And by another half hour after that, thanks to those nuts, oh, man, I'm just now getting my second wind. There it is.
Prior to this thing, I was taking some, I can't call them like sedatives, but for the stress and all that stuff.
Sedatives?
Yeah, and I stopped taking them because I read the book and said you shouldn't take that. And I have no need for them anymore.
Great.
So I feel great. And in closing...
Well, I wish a lot more of these goddamn dieting people who have been, I bet you a lot of people went out to bought the book, and that's the end. They're not listening to this show anymore. They got what they wanted from me. They hightailed it down the road. They're slim, they're thin, they're out there, they're getting some action, whatever the hell they're doing. And now screw that old fat man. Yeah. We're done. We don't need his ass anymore. Yeah. We got the book.
Class 1 schleppers, huh?
Right.
In closing,
Ingrates.
can I call somebody a major douchebag?
Yes?
Eddie Fernandez at the roofing inspections. Tell him to get a life.
Okay.
Bye.
Keep it up, pal. Man, noisy phone. We have an open line at Dade 1 in Broward. You know how that works. 1148 at WIOD. Since 1951, the Lorenzo family has been... There's a good family for you. We're not talking about Wayne's family. We're talking about the Lorenzo family. The one with the nose pointing straight ahead, not cockeyed off to the side. They've been serving South Florida with old world taste and style, growing into a gigantic place called Lorenzo's Italian Center at 16385 West Dixie Highway in North Miami Beach. Lorenzo's experience and dedication carries the tradition throughout everything they do, everything they put their finger on, man. Like Ralph Parada from Napoli, the old country, from Naples, Italy, not Florida. He's the head chef and baker, and for the past 15 years, Ralph's been overseeing the production of Lorenzo's baked and cooked products. Every morning, you'll find him making fresh mozzarella by hand for just $4.99 a pound. He's pounding it by hand. And he'll be fire roasting no-salt whole chickens for just $3.29. He's also proud of the old-fashioned crusty loaves of bread, just $2.25. You'll also have to check out Lorenzo's fresh pasta shop for homemade ravioli, like the cheese, mushroom, veal, vegetable, sausage, gorgonzola, meat, chicken, lobster, even spinach and cheese ravioli out of this world. Look at the look on Woody's puss. Try their great scratch bakery, the fresh pasta shop, and like I said, the best meat anywhere in the world. And all the other great choices, too. Real authentic Italian stuff, not make-believe, not ersatz. Lorenzo's Italian Center, 16385 West Dixie Highway in North Miami Beach.
610 WIOD. News to keep you informed. Talk to make you laugh your ass off.
Hi, I'm Linda Blair. And whenever I want a hell of a good time, I go to 666 Flags Over America. It's so easy. You'll leave your car and all hope behind in the parking lot. Then you'll ride the handbasket to hell. And oh, look, here's our park mascot, Jackie the Jackal.
Go back, hey, go back.
What you do next is up to you. You can join the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse on the Carousel of Doom.
Yeah, it'll spin your head around.
Ride the log flume down the river Styx. Or just relax and have a snack at our possession stand.
Yeah, give me a double dog, 2 Red Hots, and large goat's blood to go.
So drop in. 666 Flags Over America. It's the best park in the whole nation.
1153 at WID. We need a good exorcism and a good enema, I think, would clean this goddamn town out. Anyway, our friends at the Embers, not only do they bring delicious filet and New York strip, but also come to find out that there are lots of you who are on the Atkins who are going in there and ordering the extra crispy duck. And I'm looking at their menu, and they got like grilled Gulf shrimp and seared salmon and grilled double chicken breast and prime rib, and, of course, needless to say, the steaks. So there's all kinds of stuff you can have on there on the Atkins. And this is phenomenal. And I didn't overdo it on a Peter Luger, by the way, okay? There's no sense in going off the deep end just because George ruined my day. So now we're really paying George back for his indiscretion this morning with a nice bottle of wine along with his steaks, his filet mignon, New York strip, and Peter Luger steak sauce. What a rough life, baby. Yeah, how's that Camry? Here's Coral Gables. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
6 days, 5 pounds.
Oh! Great. Good
Neil,
start.
You briefly mentioned the Embers restaurants. I'd like to...
What do you mean I briefly mentioned? I just gave him a 5-minute spot.
Yeah, you sure did.
At 1661 Meridian at Lincoln on Miami Beach. Yeah.
What other restaurants would be beef-inducive that you can go on this diet?
Well, what do you mean by that? Any place that, any good steakhouse?
Pick up off the menu.
Any good restaurant that's got good steaks and seafood?
Okay.
Outback?
How about some of the...
Ruth's Chris?
Ethnic restaurants, Argentinian, Brazilian, stuff like that.
You know something? When I was in Germany, I don't know what it is, because all the Nazis used to go to Argentina to hide, so maybe they're in the meat business.
Exactly.
But they were very big on Argentina beef in Berlin, anyway. I don't know what that's all about.
Well, it's the way they cut the beef. It's a different cut than what we're used to.
It was okay. I mean, it was pretty good, but not like this.
Have you ever
like this.
Have you ever had tri-tip?
I beg your pardon. Don't get too personal now, sir. The call's only been like 30 seconds.
Tri-tip is a part of the cow, the stomach lining.
Oh, I'm in the middle of my lunch, and this guy's talking about kishkis now. Oh, no. Next you're going to be talking about tripe.
No, I'm not talking about tripe.
Oh, fair.
I'm talking about...
What a goyish world this is.
It's kind of like a skirt steak. It's very, very good. It's very, very typical Argentinian type beef.
I bet it's lovely.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Also, how about the melting pot or Outback Steakhouse.
I just mentioned Outback. I just got through mentioning that.
How about the melting pot?
And the melting pot would be good, too, but I'm not sure about what they put in the fondue. I mean, the meat, if you just get the beef and the chicken, that would be fine as long as it's not, you don't get anything deep fried. If you get anything fried, forget it. Then you're done. Right. See, I'm not sure about the peanut oil. Somebody's going to have to tell me about the fondue deal, because you see, what happens there is you deep fry. Well, you know that. You've been there, I guess.
Right.
You deep fry the stuff in that peanut oil. Fried is no good.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? But if you just took, like, the cooked meat and you did that if you did your own fondue, I think that would be good.
Okay, maybe some other people can call up and suggest some restaurants and why and how and so on.
Yeah, but I mean, how complicated is it?
No, the reason I'm on this
Steaks, seafood?
Part of the reason I'm on this diet is that I travel quite a bit. I'm out of town 2 to 3 weeks out of the month.
Yeah, but see, that's the one great part about this thing is any place you go, even little podunk towns that don't have a whole bunch of restaurants, usually you got a place where they have pretty good steaks and chicken and, seafood. I mean, that's about your most commonplace American fare that you'll find anywhere. And at the very worst, you drive through Wendy's and get a couple of burgers and throw away the buns.
Okay.
Is the last resort.
What's the deal with the alcohol? I sometimes
booze.
have to set
No booze.
No booze, huh?
No booze.
Just set the metabolism off whack, is that
That's what he said.
Okay.
No booze. No caffeine and no booze.
Oh, boy.
Hey, listen, you want to be healthy, you want to live for a while, or you want to have like the temporary, like all those nuts I indulged in this morning and made me sick as a dog?
Well,
listen, I'm serious. I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but you really learn a lot about your body and about why you've had all these problems over the years when you go on this thing, because then when you've been off of some of this stuff for a while and you overindulge in carbohydrates and you start going from one extreme of feeling great to the other, feel like you're choking on your fat, you understand why. When you have this problem, man, carbohydrates are like poison. They're like murder. I feel like attempted murder was done here this morning to that nut guy.
I see.
But keep it up, pal.
Okay, thank you, Neil.
Okay. Anybody got any good restaurants out there that they want to plug? We have an open line. We just gave you a 5-minute plug, pal. Don't get nervous in there, okay? We gave him this Woody. This guy, I'm telling you, he's just a grave robber. He's a step away from Wayne. He's kind of like Wayne without the money and more hair. Open line in Broward, 5249463. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, sir.
Do you know if we had $1 for everybody who hated Drew Rosenhaus so much, we could build that damn Wayne Huizenga his damn big enough arena for us?
Oh! Good point.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. You know what? Been off the diet for a week, gained 10 pounds.
Now I feel better, because at least I'm not gaining any.
No, I'm on vacation, so I had to go off of it.
I'll tell you another thing that really frost my ass is that I got 2 scales. One of which is a friendly scale, which I knew months ago it was inaccurate and it's low, But the problem is the new scale I've got, which is supposedly accurate, that's like stuck. I mean, it's just moving so... And the other scale, even though I know the number isn't right, it's moving. Like this morning, I lost 2 more pounds. My total would be like about 18, 19 pounds now.
You got to change the batteries in that thing.
There are no batteries in it.
My wife
Maybe that's the problem. Yeah.
Hey, can I have a shameless request?
Yes, sir. I think you're talking about your pocket rocket. That's what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Heineken.
What is it?
Heineken.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
See ya. Open line in Dade, 751. All of Broward. Wide open, baby. Wide open up. Well, I'm sitting here and desperately we're searching for the audience to lend a helping hand. All they want to do is just yank it from me. That's all. Here's Neil. Here's the doctor. Here's the book. And that's it. Just leave him in the lurch with his goddamn nuts.
Heineken beer. The beer for very good friends.
So, I'd like to tell you about my friend Lance. Lance isn't gay, but he has potential. He's totally way cute. He's got tight little buns, and he has good fashion sense. Unfortunately, he likes girls. So, here's my plan. I'm going to invite him over to my place, and I'm going to get him really drunk on Heineken, and then I'm going to him.
When you want a piece of your friend's Heine, make sure you've got lots of Heineken on hand.
Was that Defo doing that or what? Man, I'm serious. If we could, when he comes in here today, if he dares to show his puss in this building, he'll probably say, I got to be out at Dolphin camp all day. Yeah, we know. I think we ought to have a tongue checker right at the top of the stairs. When Andy Calb reports for work every morning, nice and early, so we can go in the PD's office and get a head start, so to speak. And then when Defo comes in, and just check the shade. You know how, like, you have the keto sticks, and also if you have diabetes, you have the thing where you prick your finger and you do the blood deal on the sticks? And you check the shade of the color. You check the shade of purple, the shade of whatever. I think we ought to start checking the shade of brown, and we can have, like, the award every day in the building. Who's the
Sometimes
darkest
you
and the
have
deepest.
to say, what the News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.